The US just made a very bold move with their visa policies. What if I told you that the US might be using AI agents and AI automation to decide who gets a visa or who doesn't get one? Who gets to travel or who doesn't get to travel? People feel it's a political move, but what if AI is behind this stricter visa measure and not politics, as some people think? That's what we're going to unpack in this video. So let's unpack how AI could be behind the moves the US just made and not politics. In case you missed the news, the United States Department of State has announced updates to its reciprocal non-immigrant visa policy, impacting several countries, including Nigeria, effective immediately. Most non-immigrant and non-diplomatic visas issued to citizens of Nigeria will be single-entry visas with a 3-month validity period. Okay, and according to them, those US non-immigrant visas issued prior to July 8th, 2023 will retain their status and validity. And according to them, as is standard globally, visa reciprocity is a continuous process and is subject to review and change at any time, such as increasing or decreasing permitted entries and duration of validity. Visa criteria and standards are designed to protect the integrity of US immigration systems. What I want us to notice here, these standards are based on global, technical and security benchmarks. The US mission is working with the government of Nigeria to ensure that Nigeria can meet the criteria. You see, according to them, they are concerned on global, technical and security benchmarks. This article goes on to say examples of standard criteria include secure travel documents, ensuring countries issue secure travel documents with verified traveler identities, visa overstay management, implementing measures to limit overstays by travelers to US visas, and then information sharing relevant security and or criminal record information to protect public safety. Obviously, they're saying Nigerian travelers are encouraged to respect and adhere to the terms of their visas and ensure travel documents are authentic, accurate, and up-to-date. But look at something here. If you look at this paragraph, we commend the ongoing efforts by the government of Nigeria's immigration and security agencies to meet standards of international best practices. We continue to engage with Nigerian government officials to address the remaining challenges. Okay, let's look at something else. Let's look at another article. The obvious reasons are poor overstay control, people overstaying their visas and all of that. There's weak information sharing, according to the embassy, that's between the Nigerian government and the US embassy. Also, insecure travel documents. Those are the official reasons, okay? But however, the big question becomes, what if AI flagged and uncovered those patterns long before any government official did? And then you may want to say, do they use AI in immigration affairs? Okay, that's a very good one. So let's look into how AI might be being used in immigration affairs. But before we look into that, we need to look at something. The United States Embassy in Nigeria on Thursday clarified, this is an article by Vanguard, okay? Clarified that the recent decision to reduce visa validity for most Nigerian non-immigrant applicants is not potentially motivated and has no connection to Nigerians' stance on deportees, affiliation with BRICS, or adoption of e-visa policies. We'll come back to that, okay? And the clarification follows widespread speculation that the policy was a response to Nigeria's diplomatic choices, including the handling of deportees, adoption of e-visa systems, or affiliation with BRICS. The US mission explained that the reduction in validity was part of a broader technical and security-based review and not directed at Nigeria's political actions. And the countries affected by the new US 3-month visa validity policy: Nigeria, there's Ghana, there's Cameroon, and there's Ethiopia. Most non-diplomatic and non-immigrant visas issued to citizens from these countries will now be valid for only 3 months and single entry. Well, they did say most and not all. Okay, which brings us to this point. There has been a lot of speculation in Nigeria that there's this story that the US, the Venezuelan government, okay, which is one of the most sanctioned countries in the world right now, Venezuela, refused to accept their deportees, about 300 of them. They're supposed to have criminal records, allegedly, and the Venezuelan government refused to allow the US with those Venezuelan deportees to touch ground, okay? And then there's this aspect where Nigeria allegedly was asked to accept these 300 deportees from Venezuela, and the Nigerian government said no, because they are not Nigerian citizens, okay? There's also this instance of when Nigeria has showed, should I call it the partnership, or has showed an affiliation with the BRICS states, okay, which is a non-US organization. And people have been speculating that these may be the reasons why the US began these very strict policies, because there are a lot of questions, a lot of people who want to travel out, okay, people that have educational program. We even saw in the article, I think was it in Vanguard, that Nigeria is one of the most foremost countries that contribute most to students in America, meaning that a lot of Nigerian nationals, a lot of Nigerian citizens frequently go to study in the US. And of course, when someone is studying, those are non-immigrant visas, yes, but they also need a long period of time. If it's a master's, they will need 2 years or more. If it's a first degree, maybe 3 or 4 years. For PhD, about 3-4 years too. And then now you're saying for most of these kind of visas, most non-immigrant, okay, visas, we're going to do only 3 months validity and only single entry, meaning people are not going to go with any family member of dependents. So that's why people speculate that this is like a vengeance stance from the US. But going forward, let me show you why this may not just, whether this is the backlash, okay, from refusing Venezuelan deportees or associating with the BRICS and all of that. Let's also look at another aspect of it, AI agents and automation. And a lot of people will say, well, is AI actually used in immigration? That's what we're going to unpack and get right into right now. US departments travel documents. So the question is, what if AI agents and the automation systems used by Homeland Security, Customs, and the other departments are used to track things like visa overstays and inconsistent travel documents, which is what, because according to the US, that's the principal reason, technical and security concerns. So can AI be used to track this thing? Of course. Let's take a quick look at how AI automation and AI agents, AI in general, is already disrupting immigration and security. AI agents can scan literally minutes or seconds. They can scan long overstay. If your visa was for only 3 months, for example, and you went to the US and stayed for 10 years, an AI agent could scan that in seconds. Another thing that an AI agent could scan is overstay rates. They are called overstay rates. Like, let's say 100 Nigerians moved to the US in 1 year, okay, on visas for maybe 6 months. And how many of them overstayed those visas? AI agents could be set up to detect how many of those visas overstayed. Like, out of 100, let's say 50% overstayed or 70% overstayed their visa validity. AI agents could be set up to track that immediately. Like, it doesn't take a lot of work, trust me. Another thing is biometrics. AI agents could detect issues with biometrics like fingerprints and all of that, everything associated with biometrics, because all these are actually digital, right? Biometrics these days are actually digital, and AI agents for now work mostly online in the digital space, and they're like virtual assistants that will round up information, collect data, analyze it, and show a pattern on how the findings and the patterns from all the data they've been able to gather online about Nigerian travelers, even social media activity connected to applicants. So if I were to travel, for example, AI can connect my videos online to me. AI can detect the activity I have been doing on social media. A matter of fact, I think there was someone that was recently deported back to his home country. He was in the US and purportedly, he was supposed to be studying, but AI was able to detect that he was into some kind of radicalism and all of that, and he was deported. And he was, I think, a secret spy for one of these countries. I cannot remember. So AI can detect all those things. Now we may not go through the entirety of this article. We can see clearly that Department of Homeland Security, okay, this is their official website, and here they're showing us artificial intelligence in use case inventory, because there's some certain non-sensitive information that they're asked to make public. We can't go through all of this now, okay, but we see that we have commercial generative AI for text generation. That's an AI chatbot, okay, that's a common use case for image generation, code generation, relativity 1. Then if we go down further, we'll see DHS headquarters, text analytics for survey responses. That's another use case of AI in immigration. Okay, this one is no longer in use. Okay, good. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. AI scoring and feedback. The automated indicator sharing. AIS. It enables the real-time exchange of machine cyber threat indicators and defensive measures to help protect against and ultimately reduce the prevalence of cyber incidents. Advanced analytic enabled forensic investigation. Advanced network anomaly alerting. So there's a whole lot there. If we come here, this is an article by Tech Titans, and it shows us clearly artificial intelligence in immigration. So obviously, artificial intelligence is being used in immigration, as we have seen from the previous website. Okay. Artificial intelligence has undoubtedly become the fastest growing and most prominent disruptive factor in many environments in the last 2 years. Now, let's quickly look here at this chart. How is AI used in immigration systems? Identification and verification, see, 84%. Wow. Exemplary scanners at airports. You have border monitoring and surveillance, 58%. Communication tools, 42%. Example, chatbots and translation tools. You have document verification, 42%. For example, fraud detection for passports. You have predictive analysis at 40%. Okay. Assisted decision making, 30%. Wow. Example, automated approvals. That means that we'll come back to that. Okay. We have integration and settlement, 14%. Recruitment and reskilling, 12%. Wow. Assisted decision making, 30%. Automated approvals. Does this mean that, okay, assisted decision making, I can't select this, but no problem. Assisted decision making is at 30%. An example are automated approvals. Wow. Okay, obviously we're not going to be reading through this long article. You could always go to techtitans.org if you're interested in the full article. But there's something here that I said. Potentially more restrictive immigration policies. As AI use spreads, governments are likely to implement restrictive trade policies concerning AI, including similarly restrictive immigration clauses. Okay, so obviously there are some benefits to this, and of course there are going to be some drawbacks to this. Okay, but I find it that this is crazy. I've heard of. Okay, let me quickly stop sharing this screen. Okay, so I find this really crazy. I've actually heard of AI interviews. I even got a video where someone said he decided to troll an AI interview and he was going to just, play along with it just to see how it works. How can you be, okay, let's not go into the good and bad of it, but AI is being used to interview humans that are wanting to work on a job. AI is used to interview humans on job interviews. Now you're saying things like automated decisions. Now, this is really scary. Why is it scary? According to that tab, you have already a 30% use for such things. AI is going to be making decisions on who travels or not. I want to ask you, do you think that AI should be used to make this decision on who gets to travel or who doesn't get to travel, who gets to immigrate or not? Is it a good use of AI? As in right now, with the level AI is at, what do you think about this? Please drop your comments in the comment section below. Same thing with job interviews. AI should be used to pre-qualify candidates for a job interview. Some candidates are going to be a waste of your time. You want to just filter them out. But if AI is going to be doing the entire job interview from A to Z to finish, to me, definitely not a good idea. Okay, I'm all for AI and all of that. As you can see, I'm an AI enthusiast, but things are really getting, like I said, we just have a few years left. Okay, so let's all tighten up our seatbelts and see how we can get the most out of the years we have left before things really spiral out of control. That may be for good or bad. Who knows? I even saw an article where they said by 2045, AI would have eradicated most of the white collar jobs. I think that is even too far. 2045, that's too far. Trust me. I think it's going to happen much sooner than 2045 already, from what we are already seeing on ground. From what we are already seeing going on, AI is now being used to decide who travels or not. Please, I remember I said I wanted your comments below, okay? And AI is being used for job interviews and God knows what else. This is both exciting and both scary all at the same time. That's how, the feeling is for me right now. And I don't know about you. What do you feel about this? Do you feel scared by such use cases of AI? Okay, AI automation, AI agents, or do you just feel excited by them? Please drop your comments below. I would really love to hear from you. Imagine if AI can do all of what it's doing currently for immigration and visa rules and regulations. AI can scan millions of travel documents in seconds. So imagine what AI agents could do for your sales process, for your business process. Imagine the follow-up with your clients to make sure your prospects, to make sure that you close sales. Imagine contacting and outreaching to potential leads and clients that can buy, that are ready to buy from you, identifying them, qualifying them, onboarding them, okay, and all of that. AI agents can be trained to do all of this for you. AI sales agents, okay, this is what we do for business. We create AI sales agents that work while you sleep. Sales agents can be trained to identify your ideal clients, can be trained to contact them and engage them, can be trained to engage them automatically in sales discussions, and then also to book appointments for you 24 hours 7, but only booking on those hours at which you will be available, which you notify us of. What to take away here? AI agents and AI automation, they are no longer optional, okay? They're already deciding who gets to travel and who doesn't get to travel, who gets a visa and who doesn't get a visa. As scary as that is, they're already deciding who gets a job and who doesn't. Very soon, they'll be deciding to a very large extent which businesses get customers, which businesses win customers, and which businesses do not. Which businesses grow and scale very fast and which businesses do not. Already we're seeing that businesses that are implementing AI are scaling much faster than those that are not implementing AI. And in the near future, it's going to get even more sophisticated. Okay, they're going to decide which business owns which market share, which business wins customers, and which business does not. So, do you think that AI should influence immigration in this way? Drop your comments. Do you think that Nigeria should concentrate on building its own AI infrastructure much more, and so that it can Nigeria can make more decisions concerning immigration policies and status and all of that? Make your comments down below. If you've gotten any value whatsoever from this video, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You're going to be seeing many more videos like this from this channel, informing you of how AI is being used across different industries and how you can use AI for your business or your work. Okay, whether as a business owner or as a career professional. We're also going to be showing you how practically how AI agents work in action, how they work and all of that. If you want to see an AI agent in action, in the description below, click on the link on that video. If you want us to build AI sales systems, AI sales agents, and AI sales automation, link is in the description below. If you want to learn how to build these AI sales systems by yourself from scratch, link is also in the description below. Be great right where you are, doing lots of great things with God's help, of course. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.